Welcome. Making sure I'm recording and that my microphone is working. I had a little slip up earlier. Gonna have some links down below as always. Generally, predominantly from IGN. I read a couple of articles. Where else am I gonna get all this news from? And then I put my own words into it, and that's it. So Insomniac Games got hacked with that cyber ransom thing. The hackers basically demanded $2 million to not release the information about the Wolverine game that's going to be coming out for PS5, but also people's personal information. So Insomniac did not pay the ransom, and 1.67 terabytes of information was released. But what was more devastating was the fact that there were passport scans that were leaked, which was personal information from the staff that works for Insomniac. And even later plans that were going into like the early 2030s from Insomniac with video games. Now, as for the game itself, there's rumors anywhere from 2024 all the way to 2026, as well as a Venom game that could come out. That's that. Just want a short, quick summarize, get to the point, the highlight of the news. Moving on to the next thing. If you want more detail, that's where you can read the news article for yourself. So there is an acute autistic kid. Think about that the next time you try to make fun of somebody by calling them autistic, insinuating that they're not smart. But with a fucking Amazon Fire Stick, his hotel TV, and a cell phone, he was able to break into Rockstar's servers, and he is the main person that is behind the leaks from GTA 6 that's in development. And right now, he's actually in indefinite imprisonment in a secure hospital as a result of him not being able to stand trial. So that is really, really interesting. The guy's name is Kurtaj, Arian Kurtaj. He's part of a hacking group called Lapsus $. So that's that. And that's pretty wild. What is Rockstar in turn argued that it's cost the studio $5 million and thousands of hours of staff time as a result of that. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you quickly, and I've already talked about this a little bit, is the day before servers, they're actually shutting down now. The game's going to be unplayable only 45 days after launching the game. And people can bitch, moan, and complain all they want, and it's justified. But you're getting your money back. Even if you didn't ask to get your money back, Steam is automatically going to refund you. You got to admit, that's pretty cool, because there's been shady companies in the past, okay, where you get boned in the butt, okay? It was raw. There was no lube, nothing. It just goes right in, okay? They don't even ask. They take you, and you don't get nothing back. In this case, you've lost nothing but your hope, because you're getting your money back, okay? You think you're having it hard? Trust me. There's much greater things to worry about in life than some bullshit like this. And that's it. It's completely done. Mytona, as the investor, they've been working in collaboration with Steam to facilitate the refunds for all game purchases for any players that have not already had their purchases refunded. Steam will now proactively. This is what happens when you drop out of high school and you're French. Refunds. Sorry, Steam will now proactively refund all remaining players. I just needed to calm my brain down for a moment so I could put that sentence together. So to me, that's cool. It's a shame because this was one of the most wish-listed, hyped-up games in the history of Steam. And it ended up somehow flopping worse than Cyberpunk 2077. Because at least with them, in the end, the makers of The Witcher 3, which don't forget when that game first came out, it was a pile of doo-doo. It was not a great game. But boy, oh boy, did they polish that piece of coal and turn it into a Paragon Diamond. That's what they did with Cyberpunk 2077. It is hard to argue now that that game sucks, Cyberpunk. Took them 3 fucking years, but they eventually got us to the promised land. Same thing with Hello Games, is it? With No Man's Sky. Man, that game is awesome. I'm starting to like that game more than Starfield, for fuck's sakes. I gotta stop with the F-bombs because I'm gonna get demonetized. Which, for this video, which is fine because, let's be real, I average like a nickel per video. It's the per month, the residual views that adds up, and I get a few of these at the end of each month. But on this video, exactly. I can't remember the last time I made one video that made me $1. So just think about that. But I want to have some fun, which is why I'm dropping out of the patch notes, like I've said. I'm probably going to repeat a lot of this stuff for a little while at the end of my videos, because this is it. I like to cover 2 to 3 news articles, like I said, and kind of just quickly summarize it. I had somebody, and I don't know if they were being a smartass, they're like, oh, IGN news. I'm like, well, yeah. Where else am I going to get my news from? At GameSpot, there's a few other places, but rather than going to a bunch of different YouTubers and seeing what they're talking about, I'd rather go with the big guns. This is like the CNN of gaming news, if you will, minus, you know, the fake news, apparently. So this stuff is actually happening, and like I said, I report it, and I much more enjoy doing this. I'm not getting distracted. I don't have to sit there and read patch notes for 15-20 minutes at a time on a game I don't even potentially play. That's not fun. I want to do shit like The Rad Brad and Spawn Wave and Boogie2988 and Rich from Review Tech USA. They just get to ramble on about nothing and make them mucho dinero. Okay? There you have it. If you have any gaming news that you want me to cover, which would be kind of weird in a way, because then you already know the news, but you feel like it would be something good for me to discuss, and you somehow care about my take on it, by all means, help me out to fish for some information on stuff that you'd want me to cover, and then I could kind of do within the gaming news, within it, it'd almost be like a mini-series, like, you know, gaming news as per, and then I could potentially, like, tag, like, your YouTube name or whatever, just to show you that that's why I'm making the video, if that makes any sense. So that would be something that would be cool for the future, because there's a guy called Popcorn Planet. He does like drama, and he covered like the I almost said the Johnny Heard, the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Amber Depp, Johnny Heard. Anyways, you know, case for example, like just drama stuff, like in the news, and a lot of his peeps will go out and like search for information and give it to him and be like, hey, check this out. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Then I can specifically Google it, whatever it is that you have for me to talk about. And then I could do some research, get a little bit of information, and then I can make a video on it. Because IGN's not the end-all be-all. I mean, it's not complicated to do this, right? I've got my thing for my games here. I go to IGN like this. I shouldn't have done that here. But I just go down to games, and then I look down at the things that are relevant to me, like things that I think are like important, because they constantly bombard a bunch of gaming news all the time, like 10, 15 times a day. So after like a couple of days, I'm basically grabbing what I think is the most interesting top 3 news picks each day or so. And then, like I said, I quickly talk about it, and then my rant at the end of the videos are longer than the actual gaming news themselves. So I'm going to end it here. Thumbs up, as always, if you liked the video, as it does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, as always, and bust it off inside of your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that would be great. But if not, I get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Merry Christmas. A couple days early, but just in case I take a couple of days off or whatever, or I don't talk much, there's that. And maybe, hopefully, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.